Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to this thing called
Life. That part.
yeah. Welcome to today's show. We were scheduled to have this show right here, but due to situations and circumstances, we felt it appropriate for us to talk about mental health today. And yeah, and who are you
To tell me,
that I have to?
be okay.
Who are you? But that's what we want to know. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? The question becomes, where do we? You know what? We're just gonna just jump
Jump right
right
on
in,
in.
and I'm gonna start with this right here from Miss Simone herself. It says, the outpouring of love and support I've received has made me realize I'm more than my accomplishments and gymnastics, which I truly never believed before. Now, that,
That that speaks volumes all by itself. Like, how is it that you don't realize or that you don't recognize that you are more than just
what you do?
what you do?
Hmm,
More than just what you do.
right. And, and me, I'm always looking at stuff and looking at articles. And I was reading an article where it said Biles, who is still eligible to compete in the individual competitions next week, even though at this point she's actually pulled out.
Ooh,
Um,
sorry, y'all. So sorry.
it's like she
I was just
said
trying
that
to share it. My bad.
that's okay. She cited um, tennis star Naomi Osaka for inspiring her to focus on her mental health. It's we all know the grief that that young lady got when she pulled out of the French Open and all of that. And so many people were really, really ugly
Yeah, they were.
toward her, just like, people are being ugly toward
Simone.
Simone. But what I want to say, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there, and people can take it how they want to take it. Black women are not made and were not created for your entertainment purposes only.
Mm, I'm gonna need you to say that again.
We were not made and created for your entertainment purposes only.
One more time for the people in the back, because someone might not have heard you.
Black women were not created for your entertainment purposes only.
Pleasure purposes.
Yeah, your fetishes, your all of that. We weren't created just for that. But anyway, I'm not that. That's a totally different topic, all within itself. Woo! But I wanted to, so that we can segue into a lot of what we've kind of hit at. I want to bring up two situations where the mental health of the athletes
Mhm.
were not. Now, this young lady is not black, but I'm pretty sure everyone may remember
What was her name?
Carrie Strug,
Yes, that was her name.
where she was injured on, I think, on the either
Vault.
the vault. I think it was
It was the
it
vault.
was the vault,
It was the
because
vault.
I
I
couldn't remember
remember.
if it was a dismount from the beam or the vault. But I remember, she didn't score quite where the team needed her to score. And she had one vault left. It was the vault, and she did have a vault left. And she was like, I just can't do it. I can't. And her coach was like, you will do it.
Absolutely.
It wasn't that, okay, well, we're supporting you and the decision is yours. It's like, you're going to get out there and you're going to do this. And that second vault really jacked her up physically.
For life.
Yeah.
And they talked about another Olympian who, again, same thing, got injured. She got injured in the pre-trials, not the pre-trials, but like in the beginning stages. And she was a Russian athlete, and so she had a cast on her leg, but they pressured her so seriously, and they were just like, no, you cut that cast off her leg. She has to do this. And in doing so, because they basically forced this woman to go out there when her leg was messed up, and it was the vault, and she missed completely, landed on her chin, broke her neck. She was 22 years old. She died at the age of 46. But from that moment that her chin landed on that floor, she was a paraplegic.
And see, that's the part that people miss.
Absolutely.
Because if you are not mentally there when you're I'm going to do you one better. Let me do a quick screen share for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a quick little screen share, and I'm going to show you all this particular. Is this the one? Yeah. This was a nice little reminder.
Yes. Oh my God. And she was an amazing.
She went through it. Mildred actually posted this right before we went live. I'm going to maximize this on the screen so everyone can see what it says. And I'm going to actually enlarge it on the screen to help everyone be able to read it for themselves. But it says, I see many people talking about Simone Biles, as we should. She is amazing, as if she's the first Olympian to be punished for doing what others can't. I'd like to introduce you to Surya Banal, a French figure skater who could do jumps no one else could do. I remember watching her routine and was just in awe. She did not look like a figure skater with a more compact and muscular frame. She was punished for her quote unquote lack of grace at her first Olympics. She was penalized by judges for her braid, her protector style, so she cut it. She was known for her athletic jump routines that were deemed too reliant on jumps and spins without the grace dance moves the other skaters had. She is also the only Olympic skater to ever land a backflip on one skate, and she was docked points because it, quote unquote, it wasn't a real jump. And if others tried it, they would be hurt. It was also a banned jump that was added to a routine that was not going to win anyway. One more thing they had in common, they are both Black women. And here she is doing that backflip.
Now, I would tell you the other thing about Surya Banali was that she did jumps that, okay, so first of all, that jump with where she landed on one foot, no other skater was doing. Skater, period. As far as, but she also did a jump, and this is when they first came for her. She did a jump. Brian Boyatano was the only other person to ever do that jump. Ever. Little skinny white man. Ever do that jump. And they praised, he got 10s.
All the way across the board.
All the way across the board. The only other person to ever do that jump. She then came along a few years later. She did that jump. And then she went one further and because she did the backflip that where she landed on the one foot, and then she did her little spin. She did a death spiral that is normally a couple's move, but she did an individual death spiral, and they were just like, oh my god, you can't do that, you can't do that. Well, obviously you can, because she did. But because she was the only one to ever do it, they were just like, oh no, 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 no.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, we're talking about it, and look, yes, she was amazing. And yes, they were trying to police another black body. Yeah. Yes. And, but what gets me is the fact that in the midst of all of that, all of the advancements within the Olympics and just in women's sports across the board, because I remember when they gave was it Reggie Miller's sister that did the first slam dunk
as a woman?
A woman.
Yes.
I can't. My brain is just. I'm so flustered with so much stuff right now. My brain will not. I can see her face, but I can't pull her name right now. But it just really aggravated me that just because she's a first to do it, that doesn't mean that she should be penalized for doing it.
Absolutely.
Because at that time,
Cheryl,
that's it. Thank you. Because I could see her face, that big pretty yellow face, just as plain as day. But it's just, yeah. So my issue becomes, just like with the young French lady, the little Russian lady who became a paraplegic. Who the hell are you to tell me that I've got to do something that is going to risk my health, my life, my livelihood? Who the hell are you? What gives you that right to determine what happens with what goes on here? Here. As G would say, here, right here. Right here.
I'm going to go one further because this is a topic that is very personal to me, as we know. And I'm going to tell y'all today, I had a rough day. Today was one of those days I was on the verge of tears. I was not going to quit my job, but I was going to walk out today. Or I was going to go hide in the stacks. It was just one of those kind of days. And it was a very mentally frustrating day. And I had things going on at home that I knew needed to be handled that I couldn't handle because today I was just kind of basically like our site manager was not there. So it was just like,
you were
here you go. And I'm just like, on top of, the stressors of my independent position. And so, and on top of that, I was up late because, even though I was extremely tired and, I had been in a happy mood, but I'm a thinker, I have a very analytical mind. So then I started processing things. And so then I'm processing home, I'm processing personal life, I'm processing work, I'm processing more work, and I'm processing even more work because I have to travel next week, and that is stressful too because it's not necessarily something that I want to do. So today was one of those days.
Well, you said that.
But I woke up this morning and I was just like, I don't want to go. I don't feel it. I had to walk somebody else. Did I tell you that? I literally had to walk somebody else today. Like, your services are no longer needed. I'm gonna need you. And I had to walk this person. I had to walk up to this person, tell them your services are no longer needed, and I'm gonna need you to leave the building. And he turned around and he looked at me, and it was one of those situations where I was just like,
today's the day.
Bruh.
This is not what you want.
Bruh.
Not today.
Listen, I know there are people in my life who would be like, you should have called me. But I was like, listen, the way I was feeling today, I would have had for
like I got it.
I got this one
all by myself.
All by myself. Today was that day. Like I was just really there. And so it was a mental health struggle day for me personally. So I have to thank you because you handled home and you handled my baby girl because I was really stressing about that. So I have to say thank you.
That's what family does.
That's what family does. I have to thank my Mr. Wolf because he kept me on my toes and laughing, and every time I would just be like, he would say something else, and I couldn't do nothing but laugh or be like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that, and just trying to, keep it going. And I have to thank members of our staff who, without, okay, so first of all, y'all don't know Kelly. Kelly was on one of our shows, but
she's coming back. Yeah, she's coming back.
She's coming. Y'all know Kelly, but let me tell y'all. Today we would Kelly. Much love, much kudos to Miss Kelly because I promise you. Oof. But then just my staff in general because it was just like not my staff but our staff because they were just like, "You good?" And I'm like, "No." And so they went out of their way, even though it was a very, very stressful day. They went out of their way to make sure. Okay, we can't get around this, so we have to. It was just, a day. It was a day. It was one of those days where I just wanted to curl up in my bed and pull the covers over my head and just not do it today. I didn't. But I told you that before I left the house this morning. I didn't want to do it today.
You were feeling that way before you ever left.
Before I even left the house this morning, I was just like, if I die, I don't want to. I don't want to do this. Not today.
Yeah.
And so then, because I was trying to distract myself, I made the mistake of getting on Facebook. So, I'm just kind of posting stuff, just random. Oh, I like this. I saw this. Oh, that fits. This doesn't fit. Somebody needs to see this, that type of thing. And then that's when I started seeing the story about Surya Bonali, about Simone Biles, about Naomi Osaka, Osaka. And it was just one of those. It was just like, you know what? This is a thing. This is how are we to tell these women how to feel? How are we to tell these women or any woman, or any person, how are we supposed to tell you how you were supposed to feel? And then I thought about it. One of the things, especially in our, in the Black community, is, you never let them see you sweat. I remember that commercial, but they were talking about deodorant. They weren't talking about your feelings and emotions. But we then took that and we applied it to other areas of life. I can remember growing up and hearing, girl, dry those tears, wipe up your face. Don't nobody want to see that. Don't nobody need to know about all that. What happens here stays here. And you just need to, you need to suck all that up, or however it was worded, but basically suck it up and keep it to yourself. So as a 20 years old person, it takes me a while. As a 20 years old person, I don't always do the best when it comes to emotional stuff because I'm one of those. Can we focus on the logical stuff? Can we focus on the critical? Can we find a?
I'm sorry.
Can we find it? Can we focus on another way to do this? Like I don't want to, and I try very, very hard and very strongly to not deal with things from an emotional aspect.
You really do.
I because I'm one of those people. If you make me cry, something really look. If you make me cry and I'm mad, you better run. But if you make me cry and it's just one of those, okay, if I'm crying because she's crying, then that's one thing. But if I'm crying just like on myself because it is one of those, it is an emotional thing that I'm having to, sit down and process and deal with. That's not an easy thing for me.
Yeah.
But again, I grew up in the dry your face, suck it up.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those days. Dry your face, suck it up. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to see that.
And see, the thing is, for us as empathic women, like today, I had a couple of phone calls. Let me back up and start with watching our sister Beatrice this morning, because she's got Seeking the Word, her live that she does at 7:30 on Thursday mornings. Yes, shameless plug for Seeking the Word. But this morning she talked about being a light. And it was amazing, first off, because she's only on there for a few minutes. But it's like she's in and out.
Okay.
But then this morning, the things that she said came back and were necessary for me to remember, because I had individuals calling me, dealing with different things in their own personal lives. And I had to, one, remember to care but not be consumed.
That's right.
But then two, I had to remember that I'm not the one that can fix it, even though I can listen and be there.
Mm-hmm.
I am not the one that can be in this state and that state and in that state all at the same time.
No, there's only one of you.
There's only one of me. And so I had to be reminded that as long as I directed them toward the light that was within me,
mm-hmm.
then everything's gonna be okay. And all three situations were totally different, but it all worked out. For each one as it relates to my conversations with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm prayerful about their situations, but I can't do it. But it's like when you take on, telling people, if you're not okay, call me.
Yeah.
And then they call you, not realizing that at that moment you may not necessarily be okay, but you're not at liberty to say, you know what, you're calling me, you're stressed out, you're, at your wit's end, but now it's not a good time for you to call me with your stuff, because I got my stuff to deal with.
Exactly.
So
I had one of those conversations today.
Yeah.
I just had to be there, for that person in love. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because that's who we are, for one thing. But for two, this is someone that we genuinely care about. And it was just I'm here.
Right.
I'm dealing with all of this over here. I'm dealing with something 10 foot tall.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to steamroll me, a Zamboni machine chasing me across the warehouse. But at the same time, it's just like,
I got you.
I'm here. I'm listening. I'm here. And you are amazing for that. You are so amazing for that. Y'all don't even know.
And then roll up and cry over everybody's stuff.
Y'all don't even know. There are days, I will talk to her. She's like, I just been crying all day. I'm like, but you've been on the phone all day. You've been posting all day. I just been crying all day. I don't even know why. I'm fine. Or you have stuff of your own going on. You just be like, but at the same time, like you said, you've been that light, and you've been that beacon and that comfort for someone else.
Thank you. I needed that this morning.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to pay attention, because by 7:30, I'm already at work. Have usually, except for this morning, have usually been there for at least an hour or more, and I'm preparing for our morning meeting. You know, more than that or something.
I have no idea where that scamble is.
It may come with the flowers.
Oh, okay.
So I don't. And somebody else said that something to me about, oh, well, you don't, you're being antisocial and you don't talk, and I haven't heard from you, and my own mother, like I feel bad because my own mother, when I come home, this is probably the most I talk in the evenings when I come home. Mm-hmm. I don't have it in me. So usually when I come home, there's a lot of evenings I don't even eat. Like I come in, I've worked 10, 12, a couple times I've pulled 15-hour days, and I come in and I go in my room and I close the door. Like I will peek at my kid or I will, text her or talk to her on the phone, but that's it. I'll, hey sis, and keep it kicking. Or I might stick my head, I might stick my head in your door. Hey,
on the way across the way.
On the way. You turn this way, and then we're gonna go this way, because that's just what it is. Because I'm just
because when you get to a certain point, but even with all of that, I am really I'm at a place where Nicole put up a post. Yeah, I saw that. Nicole had put up a post. Nicole Anderson. Let me see if I can.
She always puts up amazing stuff.
Yes, but she put up a post. I can't remember if it was today or yesterday, where she was talking about how people have been really responding toward the situation with Simone's decision to withdraw because of her mental health. And oh, by the way, another shameless plug. We plugged her before, but we're gonna plug her again. Farm Free Life. Yes, our tea shop.
Yeah. So today was definitely a better day. We'll be there this weekend anyway.
Yeah.
But I will definitely be
there this weekend. Her post put up, she said, so folks are really out here debating about Simone Biles' decision. She said, find something to do, go outside and play. And I love her because she takes serious situations and she always makes me laugh because I can for real hear.
You better go outside and play.
Right, I can hear her saying it. But what got me was, and I put my comment on there, was a young lady responded whose name is also Nicole. She said, I had to really just step back and unfollow and delete some folks off the negativity I've seen. I couldn't stomach it. I've seen people actually say she's an Olympian. She should have pushed through it and dealt with her little feelings or mental issues later. But if she had gone up in the air, lost her bearings, like the Russian lady, and came down with a broken neck, how many of the people that's got all this stuff to say, how many of them are gonna make sure that she eats, that her butt gets wiped,
not a damn,
that she gets a bath,
not a damn,
that she has clean clothes and a roof over her head?
Not a
How
damn.
many of them are gonna make sure she's okay?
Not a damn one.
So on top of the other stuff that she was already mentally dealing with,
absolutely,
then she would have had to deal with making sure. So, but while I was responding to, I'm just gonna go ahead and read it.
Her little feelings. Ooh.
Yeah.
She should have dealt with her little feelings and her little mental issues. Ooh.
Yeah, but my response was, what upsets me is the fact that people try to equate her mental health to her physical ability.
Okay.
How do they think it made her feel to be told that she would not be given her fair and accurate scores based on her skill set simply to make it easier for others? How do they think it affected her to have to regroup and change her routines so she can be scored fairly? Not that she still would be. Her mental had been messed up by dang near everyone, and I'm glad she sees it for what it is and made the decision that was best for her. And then a follow-up comment that I made was maybe they feel like the comedian Robin Williams should have just joked his way past his mental issues. That's how stupid they sound.
Now I'm going to tell you, um, even within the comedic community, and so I lost a lot of respect for some of the comedians, and some of the commentators and stuff. And there were a couple of shows that I just absolutely quit listening to, watching, whatever, because they made the comments, you know, they made comments about, his suicide, and him taking his own life. They're like, he's a comedian, and he's supposed to make people laugh. Part of being a comedian is learning to laugh at our pain. Let me tell you something.
When I'm hurting, I'm not laughing.
And if I am laughing, that ain't got shit to do with the fact that I'm hurting. Because since I'm one of those
they
people,
are not synonymous.
Because I'm one of those people that was always told to, suck it up and deal with it and this and that and the other. I will smile, I will laugh, I will joke,
and be
I will cook you a 5-course meal and will entertain all evening long. My birthday party was a prime example. We had people here, I laughed, I smiled, I had the best time with my guests. And nobody ever knew I went in the bathroom and cried after he touched my makeup.
Well, your eyes showed it, but I won't say anything.
Because those who knew me knew. Those who was close to me,
the ones on that end. That end. Sorry, not sorry. Taking care of the mister.
Taking care of home. And so Nee said something. She said that's a good point. Asking if the listener is in a mental space to accept it. That
sounds good, but when you're in the middle of
your
trauma or your emergency situation,
mm-hmm.
when you need that person, you need them.
Absolutely.
When you need them, you need them.
Yes.
And that's just like, and I look at the Barbara. She is that's her profession.
Yes.
But she still has her own life. But her profession is
the mental health of others.
Dealing with the mental.
Don't you hit my flowers. There's a fly. Y'all don't know us. And there's a fly in the house, and the fly swatters, and then it just get bad. But oh Jesus, there she goes.
I need to finish.
So
I'm sorry. I got his cousin though.
You got his cousin. But yeah, so it's just, who are you to tell me? And I can say that now as an adult. I can say that as a professional.
See, she told me not to hit the flowers, and now they're taunting me.
I know, they're purposely hanging around the flowers. As an adult, as a professional, as someone in management, because there's no way in the world I would tell my people, you don't have the right to feel how you feel. Good, bad, indifferent. I don't care if I disagree with everything you said and the way you said it, how you drew breath, and what you wore when you came to me with it. I don't have the right to tell you how you should feel, how you should process.
Well, you know
how
what?
You should think.
One of my conversations today was with a young lady who is caring for her dying mother. And someone who was supposed to be there for her in her corner, her life partner, or who she thought was her life partner, made a really sideways comment about her being there for her mother, but and he threw a really jacked up scenario out there at her. It's like, so if this was going on and your mother called, would you go? She was like, yeah. Now she's already, dealt with, she's already dealing with knowing that her mother is on her way out.
Yeah.
But then you're gonna come with this stupid question about, am I gonna be there? One of the things that I told her when we were talking was, she was like, I hope whenever the time comes, that he remembers that. I said, oh, you don't have to hope.
I don't know.
He will definitely, definitely remember.
Because that's going to just be
That is going
all up in your face.
That is going to be a part of his, the bane of his existence.
Yeah.
Just the fact that I can't believe how insensitive I was.
Mm-hmm.
At that particular point.
You know what? I'm gonna go one better.
It's not gonna hit him until he's there.
I'm gonna go one better. It's not even gonna be a matter of, oh, I can't believe how insensitive I was. It's going to be, I can't believe I was that selfish.
I was trying to be nice.
I don't give a damn.
I was.
Listen, where I'm at mentally today, I don't
and see,
have
I've
it
gotten
in
to the point
me.
I'm exhausted mentally.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't have it in me.
And see, I've got to the point where I'm just kind of mentally exhausted.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I don't have it in me to sugarcoat, to be nice, to have the nice words. Like when I got ready to leave today, somebody was like, oh my God, you're leaving? Yeah. But it's only 4 o'clock. Yeah, Joe, you never leave this early. I know. Well, but we need. I said, you remember that commercial? I might be dating myself a little bit because I know you all are younger than me. But you remember that commercial? This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. And they were like, yeah. I said, I'm at this is your brain on drugs point, and there are no drugs involved. Just life in this place and everything that's going on. So I'm going to take a me moment. I'm going to take, and for a moment, I really felt like I was just being selfish.
No.
Because I was just like, I'm leaving here early. I'm not taking my phones, either one of my phones. I am going, and I just went and got my nails done.
And they're beautiful.
Thank you. They change colors too when it gets cold. When it's warm and it's cold. But I needed that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And to be perfectly honest, had I come straight home, I would have jumped into the stuff at home. I was already on the phone with a girl, and trying to follow up. Okay, well, where are we with this and what, so what happened with this and this and that and the other. And as I was leaving, I was on the phone with our site manager, and I'm just still recapping the day. And so I knew that in order to get that time,
you had to vacate the premises.
So I turned my computer off.
As you should have.
I left my work phone in the car.
Good.
My personal phone is on Do Not Disturb. So if you are not on that little specified list, you are not going to get through to me. And during that time, literally, I talked to the wolf, and I didn't really talk, to the wolf so much. It was just like, get my nails done, talk to later. See, this is what they look like. Okay, I'm going home. Because I needed that
decompression.
There were other things I needed to do. There were other things that
you needed to focus on.
I needed to focus on, but I couldn't. Like, literally, my brain felt like scrambled eggs earlier. And trying to process from, again, because I don't really do the whole emotional thing so well, and and try to just kind of be very analytical. about things that are in emotional nature. So, I dozed off while I was watching crazy TV show. And in the midst of watching the show, my brain started running. Um, there are things going on in my personal life, but also, work. Always work. It's always work because I love my job. I tell myself that daily. Um, but it was one of those. So then I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and it was just, back and forth and in and out, and it was always still the same. Good evening. It was still the same. Trying to just process and just trying to work through things, from a logical standpoint. But it was just, so the day started out crazy, and then it just maintained the crazy. But at the same time, again, baby girl was in a crazy space. So again, like I said, and I know you said that's what family does, but I thank you because I love her. But when I'm in a crazy space and then she's in a crazy space and I'm trying to work with her, sometimes there's that clash and we don't get things as done. We're not as productive as we need to be when we're both in that kind of a crazy headspace. Um, and you balance both of us so very, very well. It's like, ah, you're a godsend because you came into our home literally. You came into um, at a time where we were both doing that whole crazy thing because she was in her teens and not quite right, and I was not quite right because she was in her teens and she wasn't quite right. Um, and so you came in and you balanced us and you just kind of kept things on an even
as much as humanly possible. But it's one of those situations where you know, shameless plug for my pastor's book, God's Perfect Timing.
absolutely, absolutely, because it was absolutely
God's
perfect
perfect
timing.
timing.
Yeah.
And another shameless plug, I know most people are not in the city, but um, Shirley Mason, she's on here right now. Now, when I tell you she doesn't know it, but there have been many a Sunday I have gone to church and just been just utterly just white. And it's like she intuitively knows she'll come over and just be like, I'm just coming over to say hi. Or she'll be like, love you. Or, just some random, and it's like, and it's just at the right
The breath,
moment.
the breath of fresh air.
It's like at the right and it's not necessarily that anything may be wrong, relationship wise. That Nat is about to make me go ape crazy. It's not like relationship or home or it's just sometimes you just are in that headspace, like you said, because we're very analytical.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and that takes me back to Simone. Everything about what she has done professionally, preparing her routine for last year's Olympics that's happening this year.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was down to a science. And then to have that disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have people coming at you like there's something wrong with you because everything that you have strived for and prepared for has just basically been snatched from you because of the inability of other people to do some of the things that you are able to do. That is, and see, for me, I'm like, judge her based on her ability and then do the same with the other people.
Mm-hmm.
It will be still fair across the board because you are judging everyone for their own personal skill set,
for their own individual contribution.
right? And to have people attacking her, you know, saying all kinds of just
Crazy.
yes against her.
Disrespectful.
You
Crazy.
know, it really angers me, and I've made it a point not to get on posts, not to read comments, because I need to keep my mental and my mouth in check. You know, I need to keep my mental and my mouth in check. But, you know, it's something, you know, and it doesn't even have to be on that grand scale. Just in your personal day-to-day life. Like I put up a post earlier today telling people to shut the hell up.
Did you really?
Yeah, really. I just basically told people to shut up. I said, stop politicizing mental health because you know you got people saying, well, the leftists are supporting her. It's like mental health. It's just like the January 6th situation. The insurrection of domestic terrorists was not made political after the fact. That was already political.
Absolutely.
And getting to the meat and potatoes of what happened is not political. Mm-hmm. It is getting the facts because we had people killed. We had people. Our home base was
infiltrated.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. You know, but when it comes down to her, it's like stop politicizing mental health. When someone commits suicide or acts out due to mental health, a mental health crisis, all we hear is it's okay to not be okay. Speak up, get help. Fast forward to when a crisis is in process on the world stage before the mental break becomes catastrophic, and all you hear is what a person should have done. Mm-hmm. Forget your opinions. You know, I really didn't want to say that word. It's like you are not in their situation. You have not had their experiences. You only see what is placed before you. How many times have you shed silent tears? How many times have you reached a point to give up? How many times did you keep going and it wasn't for the best? How many times have you not been focused at work and messed up? You know, stop making mental health about the left or the right. Stop making it about you. Start supporting people who recognize they are at a breaking point. And if you can't, shut up.
Yeah, you definitely said that nicer than I would.
Okay, what did Minister Mason say? I believe that the pandemic has empowered people to realize that they can govern their own stress and anxiety and therefore not allow people to tell them what they say or how they say it. I'm proud of you. Back early, that's better standing up or shut up. Yes, 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 yes. Support or get out of the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know.
So, and I know that my family is very protective. My family, my tribe, my entire tribe, they're very protective. So, when somebody told me earlier today, girl, you all right, you just need to suck it up and keep moving. And I had to censor myself.
Better not be who I think it is.
I had to, no, it wasn't the drama queen. I had to censor. Like, you know how my coffee, okay, so my coffee cup holds about 2.5 cups of coffee. This is a cereal bowl. It's about like this big around. Like literally when I tip it up, you cannot see the majority of my face. Like, and it's, you know, it's a cereal bowl, but it's a coffee cup. And it literally holds, I think, about 24 ounces.
It's about the height of a water bottle. It's about the height of this water bottle.
Oh, so when I tell you, so I've been on not even a diet or a weight loss journey, just, you know, improving my life and improving my health. And so one of the things that I had severely cut back on was coffee because I like my creamers and all of that, and I drink a lot of coffee. And I have really been cutting back. And you know, there are days when I don't have coffee at all. I don't know how I make it through those days, but there are days when I just don't have coffee.
You drink a lot of tea.
I do. I drink a lot of tea. When I tell you that was a whole full cup of coffee. Because after they made that comment, and I was pouring coffee when the comment was made. So I just reached over and grabbed some more creamer and poured some more coffee. And I sat there and I drank that whole cup of coffee. One, before I put that cup down. Two, before I said another word.
Hmm.
Because it was not, they'd have been calling somebody today.
Oh, that's okay. We understand. She was talking about the athletes.
Athletes, that is, yes, that they have to. We have to.
Well, see, people need to understand that a mental health crisis is not always just surrounding death. Because when death happens, oh, it's okay. Just take your time and don't rush the process of dealing with whatever you're dealing
Although
with.
3 weeks later, ain't you over there yet?
That really grinds my nerves. Just because you moved on, and I tell people all the time, real love never dies.
At all. Never.
Real love never dies. So while people may go forward with life moving forward is different.
Yes, that part. It's different.
And it's an adjustment, especially if this person that may have transitioned, and not necessarily transitioned, but a person that you may have been married to and you are in a relationship with, and you all go your separate ways. It is devastating, not only for them, but then for the people that love them both.
Right. And I was told, because I kind of lost my mind ever so slightly after a very intense relationship that I wasn't even supposed to be in the first damn place. But when everything kind of, went its own separate ways, and it was at that point in time someone said to me, that it was, you know, a relationship ending, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a romantic relationship, whether it be with a family member, is in a way it is a death.
Mm-hmm.
It is a death of something, a transition of something that no longer is.
Something that meant everything to you at one point.
At one point, yeah, that has transitioned. It doesn't necessarily have to die.
Mm-hmm.
Although, when we say someone transitioned, we're saying speaking of someone passed.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't necessarily have to
relationships
be
transition.
Relationships transition. And so when those relationships transition, it's, for a lot of people, it is like, because it is a true transition. It is there is a grieving process.
Mm-hmm.
You could be the one to walk away.
But it still hurts.
It still hurts.
Because no one goes into a friendship or relationship wanting it to end.
No, never.
You never walk in wanting it to end.
I don't look at somebody and be like, oh, that's my next ex-husband. No. Oh, that's my next.
Well, if you're looking for a sugar daddy,
yeah,
or if you're a black widow, because you got those out there. No, not you, not you, not
yeah,
you.
No, not me.
No, you're not a black widow.
Could be.
You know what? We're gonna move forward. She's laughing, so we've accomplished a lot today in this hour. But I want to segue out by saying that when we see the ignorance of others, so that we don't get caught up in it, sometimes it's best to just, especially on social media, just don't even entertain it. Just keep on pushing. just keep on pushing.
Sissy said I can have a dad.
Girl, those gray beards are the proof.
Let me tell you something. Me and what she just look gray and just beard and
let the church say
amen.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
I felt that in my shando. But, and I want to say that, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay if someone that calls you when they're not okay, for you to say, I'm not okay, but I'm here for you. So, not rushing you off the phone, but I need to know, what can I do to help? Is there anything I can do to help? Or do you just need an ear? Because if you just need an ear, I can listen. Right now, I am mentally or emotionally or mentally
saturated
and emotionally, yeah,
saturated,
and not able to
and I think
give my complete and total self to you in this in this moment. Now, maybe in a couple of hours, but in this very moment, or maybe a couple of days, whichever applies. But at this moment, what can I do to help your immediate needs? Because we need to become more cognizant of taking care of us while we're taking care of others.
And I don't think we do that enough.
I don't think anyone that truly has the spirit of helps does that enough. You don't necessarily have to be empathic, but just people who are just natural helpers of others.
Yeah.
Who helps? What like, who's strong for the strong people?
And I'm going to say, and again, I keep going back to how much I love you. Because when I say to you that for years I was the strong silent one, for years I have been the strength, the backbone, the one who pushes everybody else, who gets it done, who, just keeps everything moving. And so when I would have my own personal breaks, it was done
when your body shut down from an outbreak, because your body has just taken on so much stuff. Absolutely. Until your body would just put you in bed with pitch black darkness for about 3 days or 4 days. Yeah,
from the migraine to the body just shutting down, just be like, I can't, I cannot. And so I think that, again, I've just been blessed to have you, because I don't know where I would be right now had you not told me you did.
God knows what we all need when He gives us what it is that He gives us.
Yeah, absolutely.
He puts us in each other's paths when we are meant to be there. And, unfortunately, there are people that we allow in that become seasonal parts of our lives, but
reason a season every lifetime.
But then, even with that, there are times with those seasonal people that we remember and we're grateful for, because it's not all bad during those moments, and we find out things about ourselves. It's like, oh, I didn't know I like sushi. I'm just using that as a roundabout example. But I discovered I like sushi while I was interacting with these people, or while I was hanging with these individuals, or while I was in a relationship with that person. So when we talk about mental health, and when we talk about, who the hell are you to tell me that I am required to be okay?
You're not. I am limited by your perception.
Yeah.
Of what I should be.
Because you don't know the inner workings of my being. You don't know that sometimes the person that's struggling may look good, but they are dealing with invisible illnesses, and they are sick of being sick. They are sick of being medicated just to get up to function throughout the day. They don't realize that, yeah, I may be out here with this smile on my face, but when I go home, I have an abusive butt crack waiting on me to crack my skull, simply because we don't have the money to turn around and buy him whatever the case may be. Or he, yeah, or she. I was just, because I'm a, yeah, I'm married to a dude, so I was just using that as an example. Girl, everybody know I got my zaddy with his great bird. Mm-hmm. You know what? But see, that's your brother, so
I know.
Look, so you can get away with that.
Yeah.
But I want to say, I'm gonna let you close it out, and then we're gonna take it on out. But I want to say thank you for everybody that actually tuned in. Because it's time out for people trying to force for people feeling entitled enough to force how they feel down our throats when it comes down to our lives.
Mm. Who are you to tell me that I need to be okay?
So I can entertain you.
I'm not her. I applaud the athletes who have said, I need to take this time for me.
Jordan took off 2 years of playing baseball because he was mentally over it.
Yeah.
His daddy had died or been killed. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and he was just like, yeah, nope, I'm good. And I mean, just across the board. I mean, so many have just said, you know what, I need to take care of me. And who have been ostracized and villainized for saying, I'm important to me. Because if I don't take care of me, ain't nobody else going to.
Mm-hmm.
I think more of us need to take that stand. And I don't think that we do often enough. I don't think that we just, I won't say value ourselves, but I don't think that we take the time to focus that introspection on ourselves. Or we're so busy helping and providing and guiding others until we get lost in the shuffle. But even
we as women, we are really bad about that.
Yeah, and we're the superwomen. But I will say that you don't have the right to tell me that I have to be okay when I say I'm not.
And if you force the issue, I'm going to show you you don't have the right.
Baby, let me tell you, that was the biggest daggum cup of coffee I've had in a few months. But
it was showing up good and right on time.
Yeah, because y'all had to come up with the day. Y'all had to come up with the day. So I'm glad that I was pouring coffee when the comment was made.
Me too.
I also find it very interesting that, it tends to be us that have to take that hit. Just supposed to grin and bear it and shucking job. Y'all, listen,
Those days are
done. And you get somebody, look, you catch somebody at the right time. End up being the wrong time for you. Catch somebody at the right time.
And it's all over but the shouting. But next week we will, even if it's not we may be on different screens.
No.
But next week we'll be here. We're gonna have to play by ear exactly what our time will be. Like Sis said earlier, she's gonna be out of pocket for work. Well, she won't be here in the house. Uh, so she'll be out of pocket. But we will definitely make it do what it do. It may be a later segment, but we will definitely be here next week for this thing called life. We appreciate you all. We love you all. And we will talk with you all next week. No, we'll talk with them Sunday because our Black Business spotlight is going to be on fetishized confections. Just let the name simmer and then you'll figure it out. We'll see you all Sunday. Take care.